Welcome to my podcast, Lessons Learned About Life and Love. I hope to inspire my listeners with life lessons through positivity, hope, faith, and the philosophies of great minds. Here we open our minds in a way that brings us together to help you stay inspired and to think. I'm your host, Vivianne Knebel, joined by my two co-hosts and filmmakers, Larry Sands and Eric Haslow.
How's it
Welcome,
going,
Larry, and
everybody?
Hi,
very good
hi,
here. Yeah.
hi. We're super excited about this, and I might add to that wonderful introduction, Vivian, that this is a joint podcast with our Something Something podcast.
That's
Oh,
right.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes. I'm so obviously, we know you, Vivian, and we've worked together quite a long time, and you are probably one of the most positive people that I think that we know. And it's pretty amazing. Um, you have a new book that will be coming out actually when people watch this. So you have a new book called what is it called?
The art of aging,
I
the
knew it.
beauty, richness, and possibilities.
Yes, yes. Which really I like to think of this as a capsule podcast. This is part one. I think we're gonna do a part two and a part three, but wanted to get on and really have a good in-depth discussion, I think, about your book, right? Um,
That's
tell
yes,
us.
yes.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I wrote this book, and at the age of 80, I felt myself brimming with
And
energy
again,
and
Vivian,
health.
you do not look 80 years old at
You
all.
don't.
You look
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
in your 60s, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you know what? It is how you feel, your positivity, your optimism, your
Exactly.
good thoughts reflect in your face. It,
Yes.
it, it
Yeah.
definitely reflects in your face. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But since I feel so good at this point in my life, I thought, I still feel that I have a purpose in my life. And then I thought, this life is not just for me. Could be for everyone. And therefore, I thought I'm going to write this book and put my life experience into it, and also the wisdom of the great minds from whom I've learned so much. So this is a book of great wisdom, and I think it has the potential to help a lot of people to age gracefully, to age well. I know aging is challenging. There are challenges, there are changes, but that is throughout life. And we actually start aging before we're even born, when you think
Mm,
of it. So this book
yeah.
is really, I want to fulfill a mission, because my mission is to help others improve their lives with meaning and fulfillment. And I want to show people that it's possible to make the later years the best yet,
Yeah.
because that's for me, that is the way it is for me. And yeah, so this is the reason why I wrote the book.
And
And
this
I
is
think the book is really it will benefit people of all ages, especially the baby boomers, I would say, because a lot of life changes occur as we age.
yeah.
Leaving
So
home.
would you say that it's kind of a sequel to your first book as it's picking up in the second part of your life?
Yes, it is, because it's a continuation of my life. It is a continuation of my life, but entirely about the aging process, how we make the best of it. And a lot of people can benefit from this, from this book. Baby boomers, people of all ages, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because, and I want people to get away from this thought, oh, aging is negative. Aging is not any different from from being young. It is different, but it's not any worse. You know,
Right.
it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different.
Right.
That's what I want to say. And also focus not on decline. Aging is not only about decline, it is about strength, it is about wisdom and experience, and we can put that to use.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I think,
But
you know,
optimism is
yeah, no,
important.
go ahead.
Optimism and positivity, and you said that
Yes.
about me. That cheers us on in everything we do in life.
Yes, yes, and you really are the epitome of that. And if it's anything that I have known of you, this book is probably I probably one of the most definitive books on aging and positivity and how to age gracefully, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I
Um
would say, as long as people stay, as long as we as age, with a curiosity, we have to maintain a curiosity and stay interested in life and always stay open to the beauty of life. That is so important. Your thoughts, you have to entertain the right thoughts.
yeah,
If you don't entertain the right thoughts, then it'll drag you down. It's very important to think good thoughts, because also it's good for for you physically, because when you don't think right, it'll affect your body as well.
absolutely,
So, but it
absolutely.
all starts really with acceptance, Larry. It starts with acceptance. It is, we need to learn to live with life, not against it. Otherwise, we're always at war with ourselves and the world around us. So
Mm,
accept the fact, this is part of life. It begins with birth, and ends in the end with death. That is just a natural process, and you just want to make it the best journey. We all want a good journey, and when the major roadblock is really that people look backwards instead of ahead. They cling to the good old days, to the beauty of youth. Oh, I've lost my youth. Well, let go of that grip of youth, and when you let go of that grip of youth, your hand will be open for something much, to receive something much better, even more valuable. So it is up to us. It's our mindset.
yeah, definitely.
It's
I
not so much. Yes,
No,
sorry, sorry.
I was just gonna say I absolutely, definitely, wholeheartedly agree with that, everything that you said, and it really does begin with acceptance, because if you don't do
Absolutely.
that, I can see that, I can, and I
Yeah,
think people that are listening to this and watching this on your Instagram, I think that is one of the um biggest things, is just the acceptance of
acceptance
where
is
you're
number
at.
one. It is. And, because you have to think about it, aging is not so much about age and appearances. It is really about who we are, our attitude, our attitude, how that is as we go through the various stages. So with the right attitude, that you decide how your life, how you want to age. You kind of have to have a
Mm.
plan. You have to have a plan for your life, and say, how do I want to age? It's up to you, and then take the first step. It's all about mindset and wisdom, attitude, emotional resilience, and especially gratitude. I want to say this: gratitude. It's easy for us to say, "Oh, I'm grateful for this and that," but gratitude, really, gratitude is so powerful. The characteristic that found its way into my life,
Mm,
uh, and has great significance, is a profound sense of gratitude. I believe that gratitude is the cornerstone for change, and it enables us to have happy lives. And with this insight, this significant insight, I look at my life, at the short time, uh, that is, which is my life. For all of us, its life is really short when you
yeah,
think about it.
yeah,
I look at that short time, and I learned to be thankful for all that I am, all that I have, and all that I experience.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is
That
key, the key component to my happiness, gratitude.
there's a lot of there's a lot of circumstances, I think, as we I say we, as everyone, we get older, that we have to look at, and we have to, I think, when it there's so many things that I'm wanting to ask. I don't know what to ask first. What is the first step, Vivian, that you have found to find acceptance as an older person? Because I think to younger people, especially when you're 20s, you don't really realize what's going on. Your
What
30s,
is
you
it?
kind of don't know, because you're still working, you're still doing your thing.
You're really
40s,
becoming an adult in like your 20s. You're an adult with training wheels
right,
Yeah,
because you're still
that's true.
kind of working with a net. Your
Yeah.
30s is when you start really becoming who you are. Because let's face it, a lot of us, by the time we hit our third, for me, it didn't happen until my 40s. That's when your loved ones start passing away, a
Mhm.
grandparent, or hopefully not, but a parent.
yeah,
Your friends from college, you start to really lose ties with, and you're becoming who you are. Your 20s is who you're gonna be. Your 30s is, oh my God, I'm really an adult now. What am I gonna do?
True.
So
We,
yeah, but then here's the other thing. A lot of times, though, it depends on what happens to you when you're younger that ages you. Like Vivian, you were an adult before you were an adult because of all the stuff that you've gone through.
the
So
hardship.
for you,
Mhm.
the aging, it was, you weren't aging, and you already aged in wisdom. It was aging in years and gaining more and more wisdom is what I
Experience. Yeah.
feel you were going through.
Yes, yes, you're right. You see it perfectly well. That's true. But we do go through these stages, and the spirit. When I became more spiritual, that was when I turned 70. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that's when I became deeply spiritual, and that really was a great awakening, you know. And then I studied the wisdom of the great minds and philosophers, and they showed me the way and helped me make sense of everything. And I got deeper and deeper into it, and it served me well. Uh, but you know, yes, we are so fixated on appearance. You know, that is all because our society also says they they make it very clear that youth is beautiful, and you know they old is not good. We have to change that way of thinking, because we have to allow a different kind of beauty to work itself from the inside out, one that's much more authentic, you know. And so we this is just a process, and when we recognize that, that is really really very helpful. But it's amazing what you can do as we get older. It doesn't matter. I reinvented myself as a writer at the age of 70, and I wrote
Wow.
my published my first book at the age of 76, and thereafter another book, and now I'm on my third book, and I
That's
reinvented myself.
so
So this is a
amazing.
chance. Yeah,
yeah.
it is a chance for all of us to dig deep and find something we're good at, you know. And to find out what we're good at, we have to kind of think, where do I feel most fulfilled, you know? What brings me the most pleasure? And so find that, because that is the authentic you, and you build on that. You can build on that. And reinventing ourselves is great. We can become great mentors because of all our experience, all the things we went through. we have the wisdom. We are very good at planning a good life and managing a good life because of our experiences. We had everyone in life. Challenges are a part of life, and everyone goes through them, and we learn from them. We always get back up and keep going. And these are the beauty. That is the beauty of aging, the experiences. That, and we must put that to use. And the more you have a purpose, the more you rejuvenated you feel. You feel so it's very very rejuvenating, and very fulfilling to have a purpose. Purpose is key.
Wow. What? Okay. And I might add, when you just didn't, but how old were you when you completed what was it, your first marathon?
I only ran one marathon, but I ran for many years on a daily basis. But I ran one marathon that was 43 years ago.
43 years.
Wow.
That's
43
amazing.
years ago, and yet people can be very old and run marathons. I'm
Right.
writing
Yeah.
about this in my book as well.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
these things, but I always looked for challenges in life. They
Mm.
keep the fire in me, burning. I need to have a goal, and I'm very goal oriented and very task oriented as well. And because it gives life meaning.
Right. Exactly. Actually, and I just thought about this. Do you think, or yeah, do you think that you learned anything running that marathon that you put
Absolutely.
in practice now?
Absolutely. I think it was, first of all, I'm not the type, sporty type at all. I always wear high heels, and marathon was the last thing I wanted to do. And my husband was a runner and ran several marathons. And I thought, I wonder if I can do that too. A challenge. And it shows you that when you put your mind to something, to do something, you can do it. It just takes perseverance and determination. And when you finally do it and you finish it, you completed something, even if that wasn't really something that you could be so good at, even though I ran the marathon under 4 hours, so that was
Wow.
pretty good, you know. So, but I was not the type, really, the sporty type. But it showed me, reinforced that when you set your mind to do something, it is possible. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
it did have an impact on me, absolutely.
Yeah. And obviously it does carry on to this very moment and how you have carried yourself for the last 40, 45 years, I think.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
And
Um,
also, it's so important. I also write in my book about this is why I say this book is really good for all ages, because we go through these changes. There's children leaving the home, retirement, loss loss of loved ones, you know, physical changes, health issues, all these things. And we need to, at an early age, kind of plan out our life and say, if I want to age well, I'm going to have to eat healthy. I'm going to put in my exercise, because you want to have a fit body. Because if you don't feel good about your body, that affects your mind too.
right. Yeah.
So that is one thing. And also to plan for retirement. Don't sit on this three-legged stool if you don't. If you don't, you're sitting on a three-legged stool. You have to find out, what will I do? Will I have enough hobbies? And also financial issues. You have to, it's a great problem today that a lot of people are getting older and older because of the advanced medicine. And a lot of times they are worried that they outlive their finances. So that
Mm.
that happens too. But it also shows, my book also shows, if that is not the case, there are ways to still go through life and find joy, because there are ways you can maneuver through this, and you can always find meaning and purpose and joy in life. Even in our suffering, we can find joy.
Mm.
Those are some very, very bold statements, but I think you're absolutely correct in everything. I
It's a
know.
mindset,
Yeah.
Larry. It's a mindset, because I'm going through another challenge now with my husband being very ill, and I have to deal with that. But then I said, I see again the good there, because it enables me to do something for him, to do something positive, to build him up. That to me is purpose. And also it made me writing the book helps a great deal with the medical issues that he is confronted with. And I always breathe something new into our life. I keep positive positivity and hope alive, and it never gets boring. There's never a dull moment, because I have something fresh to bring into our marriage as well, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's not surprising that you are one of the few people that I know and talk to that that actually do what you say you are actually doing.
Mm. Yes.
Absolutely, I
You
will
know?
do that.
Yeah.
When I say something, yes, you may not succeed, but I'm going to do my absolute best, to
Exactly.
fulfill my what I promised myself or others. I will absolutely always do my best.
Yes. That's really, really amazing. Uh it just it I think for people that are watching this right now, one thing I know before we wrap up, what can somebody do now, whether younger or older, what can they do right now that you can, is there any type of way to help them understand about how to accept things? And
Well, you know
it's
what? The thing is this: accept. That's right. You have to say to yourself, don't accept what you can change if you want to change it. Absolutely. But absolutely accept what you cannot change. If you cannot change a situation, you have to change yourself. You accept it and you go with the flow of life. That is it. And it's not just about aging any situation. Change what you are able to, but if your hands are tied and there's no way you can change it, you accept it and you make the best of the situation, because then it's meant to be. That's how I see it. But I will always try my absolute best to change what I can change, even the negative news that we hear constantly.
yes.
you know
Yeah.
I listen to it, absorb it, I mean, think it through, and where I can help I will. But if I cannot help, I detach myself from it, because I don't want to lose this good energy and waste it
Mm.
on negativity. So it's very important to we have two fields of energy, the positive and the negative. It's very important to stay in the positive, and that's the only way you can do it. Focus on it, stay in the positive. And when things are really going crappy, then you say to yourself, that I don't want to be here. I find a crumb of something good somewhere else.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know, find your crumb of good, and then build on that. And pretty soon, your pile of goods will be quite substantial. That's how it is. It's piece by piece,
And that is how
again and
you
again.
and that is the perfect way to end this episode with what you said there, Vivian, is to always find the good, even when you're in a bad, horrible situation. And wow, that's the best way to think about it. Vivian, thank you so much for sharing this. Again, this is just we're saying it's a three-parter, but the three of us know it's going to go about 20
Yeah.
parts, 30
Exactly.
parts as we're going to go on and
So,
on with this. But again, we will have more and more information about the book as we get closer and closer to it. Vivianne, thank you. Larry, thank you. And hey, like we say each and every week, folks, remember, be excellent to each other.